Hi, I'm Emma from the Humane Society Club. It's really the service club. So this year we're making little odds and ends for the Humane Society. We've got your cat toys and your cat mats, balls of yarn. That's not for the society, just fun. So I'm going to be showing you how to make a cat mat and a fuzzy wuzzy, as we call it. I did not name it. So when you're making the cat mat, the first thing you need to remember to do is you need to cut the corners. Now this is fabric, so you need to make sure you've got a good pair of scissors, or else you're going to end up cutting the air instead of the fabric. And then for the best looking mat, you have to make sure everything lines up perfectly. I'm only going to show you one end, but I'm guessing you're going to get the point. So after you've done that, you have to cut tassels. These tassels you will eventually tie together in knots. Make sure you're doing knots, not just one tie. If you do one tie, it will eventually come apart and all your hard work will be wasted. Now remember, when you eventually do the rest of the corners and sides, make sure everything lines up perfectly. When you tie it, like I said, it has to be a knot. It's not just that one tie. You need to make sure it's a knot. This should be pretty easy if you know how to tie your shoes. If you don't, I'll elaborate. So you take the two bunny ears, you put them in an X with one finger, and you put a bunny ear on your finger and you pull it out with your finger and you tie and repeat. I feel like I'm talking to a kindergartner saying that. We'll leave it there for now because I think you get the point. And now for the cat toys. One thing you need to know is do not use too much string. If you use too much string, it ends up a big ball of knotted string. This is a normal ball, so yep. Basically the amount of string you will get from dropping the ball of yarn and pulling it up. This is basically all you're going to need for the first tie. Because when you're tying it, all you need to do is take the string and tie it, one end. Then I took an amount of string and used my fingers to wind it up. An easy way to be able to use a larger amount of string is to wind it on your fingers, grab it between the two fingers, and just start spinning. Blah, 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 blah. And so on. And then when you're done with that, just pull it off. So with the cat toy, all you need to do is keep wrapping it around and poke it through the circle. And to make the circle, you might want to know, you need any round object, circular. So you could take a cup and use one end of the cup to make the outer circle. Then you take something smaller, yet circular, like say a bottle cap, put it in the center of the circle you made with the cup, and then you trace it and cut that out as you traced the cup and cut it out. So when you finish cutting it out, you should have a donut, not the sugar kind. So when you make your donut, like I said, you need to tie the string, and you eventually keep on and keep on and keep on. But one thing you need to make sure you do is, as you see, it's circular. So if you were to keep on like this without tightening it, it would look pretty awful. Weird, at least. So one thing you need to remember to do is push the end in. the one inside of the hole, and just keep on going. So when you eventually finish, you will take the scissors, and since you need 2 of the donuts, you need to make sure you have the 2. You will take the scissors and you will cut the string. I'm not going to do it now because it would be wasteful. You would cut the string and you would eventually have a full-blown fuzzy wuzzy. Now, I know what you're going to ask when you eventually run out of string. What now? Probably not in that voice, but you would ask. So when you finally run out of string, I'll just pretend. Oh no, I have run out of string. What shall I do? Oh, please save me now. So when you finally run out of string, what you should do is you should take the 2 ends, make an X, and like you did with the cat mat, just tie a knot. When you tie that knot, you should be pretty good. And you just continue on like always. When you feel, you should at least do 2 complete rounds around the donut. When you feel that you have done enough, you may cut the fuzzy wuzzy, as I mentioned in the way that I mentioned earlier in this video, and you will have a fuzzy wuzzy. But before you take it out, you must remember that once you have cut it, you must, in the donut, put another string. That string will be the string where you hold it from, and the string that holds all of the ends of yarn together. To miss that step would basically end up in you having a couple hundred pieces of loose yarn. Little ones, but loose. Now you must remember not to take on too many projects at once. And to not mix up your string. It's funny, but not productive. We'll get to that later. There it is. So back to this. You must remember that something fun you can do with the small little pieces that are left over is if you trim the edges so that they match, you can make a little mat. That's something I invented in the club. So basically you just do the same. You cut off little bits of the corner, but only little ones. It's a little mat. Little bitty cutie poo. Forget what I just said. So you would cut off the little corners, making sure they're little, because if you cut off too much, you're going to cut the mat in half. You would cut the little corners, and like with the big mat, you would make sure everything matches up. Like so. And then, just like with the big mat, you would tie it. Except you might need a needle instead of fingers. But I wouldn't advise that. Just have long nails. And so that's basic on how to make these objects, fuzzy wuzzies and cat mats. Fuzzy wuzzies also make fun necklaces, just an FYI. And I hope your pets enjoy them. Bye.